Hello all, welcome to Centerpivot. In this tutorial, I will show you how to create a simple model with proper dimension and exact shape with the help of camera matching, and also I will create a similar texture with accurate pattern following like reference in this tutorial, and also I will show you how to create turntable animation in Marmoset viewer also. Before going to this tutorial, these are the steps I followed to create this model. Just look into it. Let's get started. First of all, we need to analyze this model. See, I am using pure rough. See, first in this model there is lot of cues in there. So first of all, I am just counting how much cues I need to place, and then where I need to place, and then what are the other details inside this model. All the details I am seeing in the analyzing in the initial stage itself. These roles can be created in model, or I can able to create in texture. That's also I can able to analyze in the initial stage. Then where that wood is exactly placed, the top wood is placed more over the vertical area, but in the bottom areas are placed inside the vertical wood. So this kind of details also I can able to see in the initial stage. Then it can be easy to do model while doing model. After analyzing the model, I just need to create the bounding box. Already I have the dimension in that pure rough with the depth and the height. It is exactly like for the Maya. So I'm just creating a new cube for creating a bounding box. That is, bounding box is nothing but a box which is carrying the model entirely inside. This is the second step of this process. So I'm just entering manually one by one with the depth and height. Before entering, I need to check whether it is having the proper linear working units. You can able to check Windows Windows preference also, but you can click that icon in the bottom also. So I created the bounding box, but I need to match that camera with that image also. Then only it can be easy for me to create a model. So I just create a new layer for identification purpose. I am creating a new camera to match that image of the reference. So I just created a new camera. You can import image by view image import. Also you can import by clicking that icon also. So I imported that image. So the shortcuts are visible in that bottom area. I will put that on. See, before going to edit all the things, I need to place that image back side of the model. So I'm just going to, the alpha gain is working, but it will not help for me. So I'm just going to adjust the depth of the image. So see, now the model comes out front. After that, I need to change the focal length of that image. Every image has taken in certain focal length. So we need to identify first, then only we can able to match that reference. I'm just entering manually one by one value. For camera matching, I have already created one tutorial. I will share the link in the description also. See, this kind of small tweak we need to do. We need to adjust as per the reference. And then we need to adjust that focal length also. You don't try to match exactly like that reference, because some models we cannot able to match. This kind of boss models we can able to match, but some other models like gaming channel, that kind of models we cannot able to match exactly. So on those kind of things you can match only 2 dimension, like width or height we need to match, or depth or height we need to match. Yeah, I think this much is fine. So I'm just, after that I'm just locking this camera. I'm just having that, I'm just tear off this copy. For I need to model in different user interface. To remove that image from other things, we need to change that into look through camera only. Next, yeah, we are created that bounding box, and then we are matched the image with camera. So now we are trying to create the model. I'm just using the same bounding box model to create that actual model. I just duplicated that one, and then I'm just adjusting and removing from that layer also, and then I'm just adjusting that vertices to directly place that model properly. See, I'm just identifying the thickness of this wood by moving the vertices properly. I mirrored this model to exactly place on the other side of the bookcase. Why I deleted that one was because I'm having the exact position of screw is on that side only. That's why I removed this side. As well as I am doing this model for e-commerce projects, so I will do, while doing modeling also I can do UV texturing. This model is entirely for e-commerce project like that. So now I need to create the holes because of the screw area, so I'm just creating some loops to create that screws with holes. I just exactly placed like the center of the screw. Now I need to add some supporting loops to create a hole. Use chamfer to create a hole, and then use circularize. Add some divisions and use circularize. I added some divisions, and now I need to do circularize. You can add one more divisions to get a proper circle. Now we need to connect that to fix the end gun. We need to connect. I just match the exact size, and then I will connect. Now I'm just remove the center part. as well as I'm having that symmetry property, so that's why I'm just removed that other side. I will mirror that one after that. Now I'm trying to reduce the polygon, so I'm just using target tool. I'm just reducing it. You can use vertex mode as well as you can use edge mode also to simplify this process, that target weld process, like this. Now I'm just trying to extrude that whole area to fix that hole. We created hole, but I need to fix the back side also, I think. Here these holes are there, but I will not create these holes in modeling. I will use that loops to identify the placement of that holes. I will create the holes in Substance Painter using height values. So that's why I'm just using the loops for placing that area only. After that I will remove that loops. I used mirror again to generate the holes on both the sides, but I forgot to fix that back side, so I need to fix that one. See, again I'm using target tool. Okay, after fixing that backside, after target welding the backside, I need to just place properly that loops. Now everything is fine. Now I need to use that. I just freeze the transformation, clear history, all the things, and just use that doing to. And just need to cut that areas. So before cutting, I need to add that supporting loops of the corner area of the loops, that whole area. So I just selecting that all the edges. I'm just applying the bevel without chamfer. Without chamfer will create those kind of additional loops. You can use that one. If you don't need that slope area, then you need to turn off the chamfer. Now select all the edges of the corners and then cut that. If you do UV while doing modeling, then it will be very easy for this kind of models. I need to cut properly on that corner areas. That's why this looks different. There are 4 pieces, but I'm not able to see all the 4 faces. What's happening? I just forgot to cut one corner. Same like other side also, I think. See, sometimes I'm not able to see one UV. On that time, I need to do that UV is inside that one, but I'm not able to see means then I need to select that UV and then put normal based mapping. Then it will be working fine. Don't forget to save your file. You can use auto save option from Maya also. Now I'm trying to apply the bevel for the box corner areas, not for the whole area. Use the same values for all the other cubes also, then it will be looking uniform, otherwise it will be looking different. Also you need to try to match it exact like reference. I think this much is enough for reference, so I need to do for that whole area also, because some areas having sharp edges and some areas having proper smooth edges means that it will be not good. So I need to apply for that all the sharp areas. Every time I'm doing that model, I'm just using freeze transformation, clear history as well as Centerpivot, our channel. I properly unfolded, oriented and then stacked, unstacked like that. So one side of the model is finished. Now I need to do mirror that one. I just move all the UVs from outside. Now I need to create the other cubes. So I'm just using that same bounding box again for creating one more object and then placing that properly after removing that object from that layer. See here, the top cube is in that proper position, but the vertical cubes which I created before, that is not in that proper position. So I need to move that top vertices of the vertical first. Before that, I am just trying to place all the things exactly inside, but see, actually the vertical part is down, the horizontal wood is fully up, but I forgot to place properly, so I just move that down. So I'm just using the D shortcut for moving the pivot. And then placed on the top, and then I just place properly. Now I'm go to that other newly created object and then I'm just placed properly. I'm just using vertex snap, that's why it is going properly. Now again for this model also I need to create that UV first and then I need to apply bevel. That same process. I just using automatic mapping because that this cube as outside having the different textures. That's why I'm just using that one. I'm just using the same value which I used for other things also. Yeah, this is properly placed. Now I need to duplicate this one, or I need to unfold again because I created bevel after that. Duplicate the top one and then place that in bottom, and then other things also. In bottom it is not entirely filled, so I need to place properly. I need to place in the proper bottom. Also the vertex also need to be adjusted. Yeah, this is fine. Like that for other side also I need to do. Again I need to unfold that and then properly place. You can check the tear off copy of that camera every time while doing that modeling. Again duplicate. And then placing that with the reference image. This is why that camera matching is very important. Then you can place properly on all the areas. If you match that camera properly, then it will be looking fine. Yeah, I created vertical and horizontal areas. Now I need to create the back side and then that small cubes also. So again I am using that already created cubes for that one also. So for that I am just duplicating that one. Rotate that and then properly place. I'm using D option again and again to place that all the cubes properly. You need to toggle from front, side and then top view for all the placements properly. Then only the model will be looking like reference. Yes, this is fine. I just use grid snap right now. After placing that back, then only we can able to find that placement of the center part. center and bottom. Wow, this is fine. You can check with the tear of copy every time. For that small cubes, so I just using again duplicating the back one, and then I'm placing that properly. With the reference I can be able to exactly find out the dimension of that small cube also. After that I can be able to easily place. Like that same way I need to place that on the top also. Duplicate this one and then place. Control 1 is a shortcut for isolating that mesh. Yeah, now I can able to find one more error. After that I'm not able to, before that I created that holes with that full entire area. Now I need to place the holes properly because that holes is not properly placed in that reference image. So I'm just putting down on the side also, on the top and front also. See, the placement is wrong. So I'm just going to the front side and then select all the vertices on that area without affecting the topo, and then place. Adjust the loops of the top one because it will go so near to the bevel area. That's why I put down little bit. Okay, now we completed the entire all the cubes, but I need to update that the screws. I already created the screws in simple other area, so I will just upload that one inside. I have used a hexagonal screw and the simple screw. This screw is already UV mapped, so I need to just place with the proper dimension, then it will be looking fine. I can use the top view, front view, side view to place exactly, not only depend on that perspective. I'm just placing precisely with the vertical snap of that center part. Yeah, use vertex snap to properly place the screws. After that, just combine both the screws and then mirror to the other areas, opposite area. Yeah, now exactly placed. I'm just using this one to backside. I'm not having the proper reference on the backside, so I'm just placing random screws on that some areas. Duplicate the screws and then place properly as per the as don't have the reference, so we can place in that whichever area that is required, like the center part that will record the screws, those kind of things. After that, combine all the three, and then after that combine all the three and then use the same mirror option again. This is a simple model, that's why we can able to easily combine all the screws and then do UV. Yeah, you can distribute properly with horizontal, vertical or any other sides. Now try to combine all the similar parts, then it will be very easy for do UV and then arrangement also. Combine all the areas whichever I have to done that same kind of use the same duplicates. I have just combined all the cubes. Now I need to combine with the screws. We created model and then we used UV also, and then now we need to identify what are the textures inside that model. Before that, we need to properly place that model. That pivot is need to be in the bottom of this model, then only it will be looking proper. The fifth step need to be the UV arrangement for that wood kind of model. This kind of models we are using for e-commerce purpose, so I will not use that baking, like ambient occlusion. I will not use curvature options. I will not use those kind of. So I am able to stack the UVs. So this model having two different texture. First one was wood and second one was the screws. Only two things only we need to do. So for that, how we can able to arrange, that will be explained in this coming 10 minutes. This part is steel and this part is wood. Only two texture we need to create. So for this kind of models we are not using ambient occlusion. That's why I can use stack option. First of all, we need to identify what kind of wood it was. This was a oak wood. Now just I will explain how to arrange the UVs properly. Consider this white is a UV viewed in place. In this model there is lot of hues but some only visible. Okay, this area having this pattern, this area of this pattern, this kind of patterns we need to match exactly. So see, all the patterns we need to identify. This the bottom and the both the things are different, and then the inside part and the outside parts are different. That bottom part and the top part are different. So we can use stack option to easily get the good quality wood texture. So in this model the back side is a biggest part, that's why I'm just separating that first. The back side and the front side, both the things need to be stacked, then only the UV space will be more for the other UV shells. And then the side part is the second thing. These two screw parts are having that large area. After that we have this 1 and 2 having different textures, that's why we put. But the back side of that 1 and 2 we can stack. And then we have that inside part, the bottom part and the top part that can be placed properly. The bottom part, back side and other sides also we can able to stack. Yeah, this kind of way we can stack. Why we are stacking means, if you are stacked means then the UV allocated space of the textiles will be more for that UV shells, then the UV shells will be looking more quality in the texturing part. If you are putting small UV shells means then it will be looking like very pixelated textures, that low quality textures will be visible. After that we can use that side areas in the proper placements. We can use stack option for that one also. And then we have that planks, lot of planks is having, but all the planks having almost similar texture. So we can use all the things in separate way, or we can stack that one also. Based on that area we have in that UV, we can place properly. After that, the different texture is what the screws, the steel areas. Lot of screws, so we can place on that area, because that area is doesn't have any details, only having the roughness, metalness and then color only. So we can give very small area for the steel. If the model doesn't have any details like wood texture or any fabric, nothing is there, then we can provide very small UV space. Otherwise we need to give lot of space, then only the model will be looking more quality. So these are the arrangement for that wood. In this wood we are not doing any baking process, that's why we are stacking. If you are trying to bake anything means then you are not able to stack. Then you need to unstack all the things and then place properly. See, after we getting arrangement of all the UVs, now we need to arrange properly. I'm just applying Lambert 1 again because I use that imported material also. I'm using that material to apply one checker mask to identify the flow, the direction of the UVs need to be proper. Then only we can able to texture that in Photoshop properly. Otherwise that will be looking, I need to invert, I need to reverse, I need to flip, all the things I need to do. That's why I'm putting checker texture to identify whether it is proper or not. See. If UV toolkit is not visible means then go to tools and then select that show UV toolkit. Select the biggest part of that model first and then do the other things, because the model which occupies more space is the more size. The UV shape need to be like that model shape. Then will be that proper texture will be coming, otherwise it will be not proper. See, I am using checker to check that numbers are properly visible, like from top to bottom. If it is not, means then it will be having issues. That's why I just rotated the UVs. One more thing also is there. See the numbers, that backside area having large number and the inside area, that side area is having small checkers. So this kind of things, it is not proper. Otherwise that area will be looking, the back area will be looking less quality and that side area will be more quality. That's why I'm using the texture density option. For getting that backside texture, should set get, and then applying to that side area we need to set, and then properly place, like we already discussed about that. At least give 5 to 7 pixels between that one to another UV, then only this will be looking fine. Otherwise it will be making any impact on the outputs. So we placed both the back side and side. Now we need to place the top, bottom and then middle part. So again I'm just selecting that one UV. See, I'm just selecting what are the UVs I can able to stack. I already told the middle part top is having different texture and the bottom part having different texture. That's why I just used. See, you can understand, if I reduce very small means then it will be very worse. Use texture density get set options to match that exact same checkers. Yeah, see, it is different direction, so I just need to select that UV shells. And then rotate, then it will be looking fine. See, I need to understand this one first, then only I can able to easily place that all the textures in Photoshop. That UV part is very important before doing texturing. The UV plays a major role of that quality of that model. Yeah, I placed that one. Now I need to place the top area. Why I separated top was because the top having different width and different height other than that middle and bottom part. So for those kind of times we can simplify a little bit of scaling you can use. Yeah, these four are the small cubes, so I just using the same get set option. Get and then set. I'm just creating two things for this one also. Now we have the blanks only, so I'm just placing the blanks properly. Adjust the UVs like that. to place properly inside. Small scaling will not affect anything. If you are scaled more means then it will be affect more on your quality. Small scalings will not affect anything in your model. And again I'm using orient shells, stack shells, unstack shells, and then distribute to properly place. These areas we cannot able to see, that's why I'm just putting very small. Those areas you are not able to see, you can put small on the UVs. Those areas you can able to see means you need to put big UVs. Finally, I'm just placing the screws. Yeah, as we planned how to do, we just placed all the UVs properly. I'm telling again, this model is not used for different process. This is for e-commerce project. That's why I'm just stacking all the UV shells to get the proper quality of the textures. If that model needs for other things means then we need to do unstacking all the UVs. Don't overlap any UVs, then it will affect your ambient occlusion, that baking process. Not only ambient occlusion, the entire baking process will affect. We planned how to create that, planned how to create that UV, so we just executed properly like the same. Save that skin and then export that selection only. Now the next step I need to take a UV snapshot. Select the UV and then go to the camera icon and then change the naming and then change position also, and then save UV. That PNG image format, size, everything you need to select. After that you can apply, then it will be UV will be coming. Okay, the UV is in black color in the PNG mode, that's why it's not looking in the image. If you put that in the white background, then it will be fine. Otherwise you can export in JPEG format also. You can change the edge color also, but I'm using the same color. For this kind of models, we need to find out that similar texture first. I have already found out the similar texture on the net for the code. See, this model has that same texture like that, all the details. See, this pattern is there. This pattern is there in this area in the reverse way, and then this area is having in that way. We can find all the similarities in this wood, that's why we can be able to use this one. So we found that texture in the internet with that different color. We can use Photoshop to match that color also. Within 10 minutes I will tell that one. Yeah, we have the reference, and then we have the similar wood also. Then this is a trick for that Photoshop to match that color or that reference. We need to find out the mid-tone area for that wood. To first of all, we need to crop which area is having the mid-tones, not having the shadows more and then not having the highlights more. So this area, I think this will be looking fine. So I just use the layer one, that is I just change to color. On that how could I'm just selecting that layer and then go to image adjustments, match color, select that source to reference, and then select that layer which is color. Yeah, you can able to see the results by simply clicking 2 clicks. That color is almost matched. Now I can using some adjustment to properly match that color. In some cases that is also not required. You can directly image adjustment match color, then it will be looking fine. In my case, I am just thinking I need to add some more red color in this area, red tone. So I'm just adding some mild saturation. These other two adjustments are not mandatory. You can simply click image adjustments match color and then select that proper mid-tone area. This is almost fine. We can adjust that one in. Now I'm just creating a new UV. I'm just going to create that texturing in Photoshop first. Because we don't have that proper texture exactly that is matching, we need to cut and paste that all the things, and then we need to create the holes area also. So I'm just using the Photoshop. To get a darkness, I'm just duplicating the layer. Now we are arranged already the UVs. Now we need to arrange that hood texture in that proper position. Yeah, this is a image source. This is a source we need to cut and then place properly. This part you need to identify where the pattern is there, how we can exactly place, like that we need to identify and then we need to place. Now I'm just preparing for the front and back of the large side of the bookcase. Here is some hard edges, then it will be very easy to you. Then we will look hard in that substance painter. That's why we are erasing the other areas and then mingle with it with the background image. I just need to combine all the layers, then it will be looking fine. Like that same way I need to create for all the other sides. Yeah, I need to find out the pattern where it is, and then I need to place properly. This kind of wood we need to take sometimes it will take a lot of time, because you need to find out the pattern and then exactly match, and then need to be create seamless also, otherwise it will be looking hard in that output. So you need to be wait patiently and then do the things, then only the looking output will be looking good. So remove the hard edges and then do again the same process of the backside area. Combine all the things and then combine all the newly created layers and then snap to only particular area. This is side, inside. Don't overlap texture with another UV, then it will be affecting that model final output. Again I am using the source texture to create that another side texture also. In this side having only one pattern, that is not an issue, we can directly cut and then place. So for identifying the UV, where the UV, I just created a new substance painter and then she imported our new Adobe. Now I'm just creating, this is for identification purpose only. Now not yet started the texturing process of substance. I'm just checking it is proper or not. We already placed properly, but I'm just checking this is proper or not. Now it is checked properly, is there. Now this part is on that another side area. Yeah, everything is proper. The direction also coming proper. The POV's placement is from top to bottom only, not it is differently placed. So I just removing that one. One thing I noticed in our model, there is no stripes is there in this texture. So we need to create those kind of stripes in Substance Painter. That will be covered in this tutorial, how to add some additional details with the prop in this image. Again, and I'm telling you need to don't overlap any texture with another UVs. We already have the UV, so that's why we exported the UV in that PNG format. Then we can easily find. This is for side plank 2. We created 3 right now. Now we need to create for the middle, top and bottom part. See the texture, which texture is there in that bottom is also not properly visible. So we can place some this kind of dark patches like that wood model. Yeah, this area I think it will be is perfect. Yes, exactly the same position, and then we need to extend a little bit I think in this bottom area. Yes. Yeah, this area having some different pattern. Yes, this kind of patterns is there. So it's the same thing I need to do again. Now I need to place for the top area. Top area UV is differently placed. That's why I'm just moving something and then place. This is placed vertically the UV. That's why I'm doing this way. Otherwise I will not do in those kind of things. So now we are used our whole code by matching color, and then now I'm just placing one by one the inside texture. I'm just going to place. Yeah, this is almost fine I think. Which area? That area which it doesn't have any textures that it is required on that area, because these stripes also can be created in Substance Painter. Find similar texture and then place. Now we just arrange for the side plank areas. All the plank areas having the similar kind of texture, so we can use that reference image to cut that, or otherwise we can use that same. The reference image quality is not good, that's why I'm using the same texture like oak wood and then adding some details in Substance Painter. Like the plain areas I'm just cut and paste. Just arrange on the UVs and name it as planks. Now export the wood texture to apply in our model, and then we need to check it is proper or not. Now we need to arrange that height details in Substance Painter. So for that we need a reference. That's why we are placing white colored dots on that area. I need to place a proper size. Actually the size is, I think, more. We need to reduce. Yeah, this is a mask for height details of the small holes. I not created in modeling. I will create in Substance Painter. So now I placed all the things properly, so I can remove that loops, the supporting loops. Not a support loops, that is are for reference loops. I just remove that one. This will not impact anything in UVs. So now I can use that updated OPJ in that Substance Painter to create Substance Painter texturing. Yeah, I already exported the wood. This is for base layer and this one for wood. Now I need to check that all the patterns is properly placed or not. But I need to check whether with the reference images. See, in this inside area, I'm just using the same work wood for roughness also. I'm not able to adjust the roughness after applying that image, so I just added levels, and then the affected channel need to be roughness, and then I'm just adjusting as per what I record. The model is fully looks like not like glossy, it full rough. So I'm just giving some variations, that's why it look like this. Actually, the wood is having some issues, I think, the exported wood. This is not having this pattern, the front inside pattern, but we created also the seam line also is showing the patterns are not properly placed. I need to check in Photoshop whether which is causing the issue, because all the buttons are not looking similar. So I need to open Photoshop again, and then I need to check, and then I need to again re-export. I think the pattern is properly here, but while export only I am creating any issue. I think the patterns are properly placed in Photoshop, but why this is not in Substance Painter means I think I'm used that source image. That source image also getting extracted, I think, from this export. So I need to turn off that source layer, and then I need to figure out. See, in this area everything is proper. The same area in Photoshop, the pattern is available, but in our exported image the pattern is not available, means I created some issues. I think the source is added. I need to turn off that source. Fine. First of all, I need to remove that seam line. Yes, fine. I just removed the source. I think now itself it will be looking fine. Now I think re-upload. Reload and then update all. I think now it's fine. See, sometimes we need to recheck the Photoshop, and then we need to re-export and then re-update in Substance Painter, then it will be looking fine. Yeah, that we uploaded the texture, but it is not looking fine. So we need to add some details, lot of things we need to do hereafter. We need to add some details for screws also, and then we need to check whether some areas would having issues or not, all the things. I'm just creating for steel texture with the white color, gray kind of, and then applying, changing roughness and metalness. Apply black mask and then add fill or add paint, and then select that particular. Yeah, this is fine. 0.5 and 0.7 metalness. And then add that another side also, because we don't have proper reference, so we can use the same texture for that screws, backside screws also. Now I need to add one more layer for adding that small holes details. I'm just using that image already which I created. That image acts like a mask, see, like this. I think the hole size is more prominent, so we need to reduce. If I'm just trying to give a height means it will create a bigger hole, so I'm just trying to fix inside Substance Painter, but the results are looking weird. If I trying to give bevel and then blur also, the results are giving weird. This is not looking the reference, so I think I need to do in Photoshop itself, not doing in Substance for this map. You just go to normal itemage, then you will understand what is the issue. The hole size is more, that is the issue here, so I need to reduce, I think. Even though after applying blur and bevel also, this is looking hard. I tried a lot of things in Substance, but it is not properly giving output, so I need to reduce that size of that all the holes. Yeah, I think this one is enough. And then do the same steps like for duplicating that layers and then updating. I think we don't record on the back side, but I'm just doing, we can erase in mask after that also, so that's why I'm doing. Now I need to update that maps. Reload. Yeah, now the size is reduced, so I need to remove that bevel. Okay, that the other side which I used to create in Photoshop is not required, so I can use that paint layer to remove that side planks, because that all not stacked, that all come outside. If it is stacked means then it will be coming, so but unfortunately we are not stacking that areas, so we can add a paint and then remove that black side areas. Yes, fine. Yeah, after applying bevel, that height looks not good. I think we can reduce, but Yeah. Yeah, this kind of things is fine, I think. Some small details inside the model which is not affecting the silhouette, that is not required to create. If the model that affects the silhouette means then we need to create. If that is inside the silhouette means that we don't need to create, because we can use that normal or height details on that. I'm just using some HSL filters to change the colors of the wood texture. Sometimes it is not exactly matching after you matching the Photoshop, so on the time we need to adjust manually in Substance Painter or any other texturing softwares. So I'm just using some color balance and HSL to add some red tone and then saturation and then some lightness also. Every time if you are trying to match the color, you need to first of all fix the lighting of the image and the lighting of that Substance Painter environment need to be same. Then only their color can be able to exactly match, otherwise it is very difficult to match. They can match the color but it will be looking different in another application. You just use a color balance, color correction, levels, curves, all the things inside Substance Painter. Now I need to add anchor point in wood texture for creating some details like different variations in roughness and then different variations in height details, lot of things. See, I can use levels in the anchor point. There is a video in anchor point also, I can share that one also in the description. Already I told that we have that camera matching tutorial also. If you are not able to understand in this video, you can check that one and then come do on then this one also. I'm just adding some darkness to that patterns, that's why I'm using the anchor point, because that in our texture the patterns are not looking so much. Use shift option to move the values, because otherwise it will move a lot of fastly. If you need to move precisely, you need to use shift. I am just controlling the HSL by overall, not in that wood texture layer. I am creating one more fill layer on the detail also. Yeah, this kind of things is looking weird, I think. I'm just trying. No, that is not looking weird. Oh, in this area there only straight lines is there, but in our image that different textures also there, so we need to properly do in Photoshop again. I think we need to some little bit of corrections it is required. You need to try a lot of things to match that image. add one more fill layer to create a fine node. I am having that one also downloaded on the website. I will share that all the images to you on the material also. I imported the fine node. This node is for to creating that line details. I'm already told we can create this kind of line details in Substance Painter directly. See, I'm just applying that one and then adjusting the color a little bit. If you put to overlay mode, then it will be blend to that background image. If you put it normal means then it will be looking hard. Sometimes the normal blending mode is able it will be used. Sometimes the overlay blending mode it will give the good result. Now I need to remove on that area. I need to do in Photoshop, I think. I need to cut this area and then place a plain areas on that area. So then it will be looking like reference. So I'm just trying to find where it is I can able to use. So I will use this one. Remove the borders, then it will be looking like blending. And then add some stamp details to merge the both of things. Yeah, now we export again and then update again in Substance Painter to get the proper result. See, I think the side planks having already matched, but still we need to do some details on that areas, like using stripes like that, because that side areas having almost straight lines, lot of straight lines is there. So I can use anisotropic lines, but better we can use stripes. Some areas is different in UV position, so I'm just trying to select only the planks, the horizontal planks. See, now I'm just trying to change the blending mode to UV, so now we can able to see that those kind of I'm putting stripes in the bottom fill. I'm just using subtract or multiply blending mode. Yeah, this kind of straight lines is not there, so that's why I'm using anisotropic and giving subtract in that mode, so then it will be looking like the wood kind of textures. I am using the dark patch color. The color is more dark, so I am just changing the color to little bit of color tone area. Yeah, I think you need to reduce the opacity. Changing blending mode and then opacity will give the proper result. I just duplicated the stripes and then changing that masking only. Adjust the rotation to get the proper result. Yeah, the stripes is affecting in the bottom areas also, so we need to, the fine wood stripes are affecting the bottom, so I need to create a folder and then applying like horizontal and vertical separately. This time I create a white mask and then removed some. Just changing the tiling to get that proper result. This one is for horizontal and that one is for vertical. We can apply the texture only to the patterns also, but in this time it is not required, I think. I need to remove the side plank because it affecting in the different plug variation. Yes. Yeah, fine. Now all the areas looking fine. What I need to do, I need to give some randomness, that is some height details with all the texture we created. We created with the wood texture from Photoshop, and then we used to fine wood. Also we used stripes in Substance Painter. We need to combine all the three and then we need to give some height details to the model. So not every model is fully shiny, like fully flat. Sometimes it need to be, we need to add some details. So I'm just using the height map with the help of that below wood details anchor point. See, this is too much. It will look like more like wood like tree kind of things, so we need to remove that, reduce, because all the woods will be varnished, so minute details it is enough. I think in the bottom some wood textures having a lot of issues, so I can combine all the wood texture and then remove the roughness in the bottom, roughness and high details in the bottom, so I can add that in the top itself directly. See, we can directly give randomness in the last final anchor point, so this will create some different kind of issue feel. In the bottom, I think we need to remove that in from Photoshop again. That extra patterns in Photoshop we need to change. See, that is inside, so we need to create like that reference. So Control T and then extrude. Okay, now we need to update after exporting in Substance Painter. See, in the bottom area that is removed properly. I just added some color to that holes. This will not affect anything, but I'm just trying. If you give more color, then it will affect. If you reduce, means that it will not give any details. Because we are not using ambient occlusion, that's why I just tried to create. This is not required, this is also not mandatory. Don't need to create in high details for color. I'm just using HSL again to match the color finally. We need to use lot of color matching techniques to match the color of the model while doing after completing. Because we use a lot of fine wood and then stripes to change the color, so that will impact the color change. So we can create one more HSL. You can create lot of HSL and then change, and then check all the maps before exporting. And then we created all the texture, but we need to check this is PBR or not an PBR. In the PBR means all the places will be in green color. If it looks in red color means then it will be an issue. Next one is exporting the maps. We can use the PBR metallic roughness export preset for export to create a turnable or render in Marmoset viewer. So I just used the PBR metallic roughness and then selected our proper location. See, all the things are came. The MEC maps we are not used, the unwanted maps is not coming. So now just import that model in Marmoset viewer. You can use a trial version also. After importing, just remove that unwanted materials and then create a new one and then apply that and then remove that default one. Now I need to create turntable and then render that image in Marmoset viewer. So I'm just using go to screen, add object and turntable. Apply the turntable to that our model. So then you click that animate button, play button, then it will be rotating. This is a quickest way to create turntable animation. You can change the spin rate and then increase or decrease. If you need slow means you need to give small detail. Otherwise, if you need to give the maximum number of. So I'm just using the high environment for Marmoset viewer by Substance Painter environments. I'm just going to program files, Adobe Substance 3D Painter resources, and then environment starter assets. I'm just using Studio. You can try any other things also. I'm just using Studio 2 for this purpose. I'm just changing the color to background plain color. I'm creating one more camera. If you need that camera means you can click that button. First of all, fix that focal length like the reference. We already matched it in Substance Painter, in Maya. So I just use the same value like 80. Now we already set the turntable and that camera also, and then we change the focal length also while render also. Now we need to update the maps. Go to surface map, that is normal map. You already exported the maps, just click that normal. Now just albedo means base color or diffuse map, and then micro surface is roughness, reflectivity is metalness map. You can use ambient occlusion, emission, lot of maps in Marmoset viewer, but in our model that is not required. And then we also stacked that model, that means we stocked it already. That's why that ambient occlusion mapping from Substance Painter is looking weird. That's why we directly using in Marmoset viewer. We can control occlusion strength, occlusion size, all the things. Just play with that and then get the proper result. Just play with the settings and then adjust all the things, and then use turntable for getting the proper rotation. You can create one more light also giving proper details, and then you can create other stuffs like lot of details, lot of lights, and then cameras. Like you can change the spotlight spotlight lighting, and then directional light. Lot of lights is also there you can use. It is very simple to use, and then rotate like Maya only. In Maya that same interface controls only here also. That shortcuts also same. I'm just placing light in camera 1. You can change the type of light also from directional spot to other things. See, this kind of details you can get. If it is required means you can get, otherwise you just change the rotation. This all I am doing in camera 1, not in main camera. In main camera is a render camera for me. That's why I am just doing in camera 1. If I placed that model in camera 1, if I try to render means it will not render, it will render the main camera only. So see, and just render this image, then apply transparency also if it required. The output is coming like main camera. That main camera is different, so I need to switch to main camera and then I need to place properly. I need to place that properly in main camera for that model. Then I need to render that one, and just using the 80 focal length and placing this one. Yeah, this is fine. Now I need to use turntable. This is the final step. We need to render the turntable animation. Sometimes your system is good means then it will be not taking too much time. Otherwise it will take too much time. But the rendering image will not take so much time if you are used minimum samples. Again, you just go to render tab and then go up. Here there is a video option is there. You can change that sizes also. Now I'm just using 800 by 600 and then render video. After that, the output will be like rendering the turntable. This is all about this process. The entire process is about, first of all, you need to analyze the model, then you need to match that model with the camera, and then you need to place that proper objects like cube. You need to use proper primitives, cube or cylinder or any sphere like that. You need to place properly, and then you need to UV, and then you need to place the UV in the proper position, and then you need to texture that one in Photoshop, and then texture in Substance Painter, and then you need to do rendering in Marmoset viewer for creating or rendering, exporting the quick turntable animation. This is all about this process. This is simple process, but this model is simple, that's why the process is looking simple. If you are doing some complex model means it will take some lot of times. That's why I explained in a simple model. Try this one. If it will work means please hit a comment on that, and then thanks for watching. This is the output we will get it recorded. Finally, thanks for watching. Follow the same steps for creating a model to get the exact same results. Thanks for watching. I will share all the links in the description, the files also. Thanks for watching.